So what are your roles at Lincoln United?
So my role is I'm the foundation phase lead. What that entails is I look after the coaches in the foundation phase. So that covers the mixed teams that we've got and the girls teams. I work alongside Kieran Gilberthorpe with the girls teams. So I will support all the coaches, the coach education, make sure that they've got all the support, any mentoring they need, and support all the children. So I don't think there's very many children that wouldn't know my name across the club. I quite like to be active and around the place and talking to the coaches, talking to the parents, talking to the children. I'm also the club welfare officer, so it's quite important for me that I'm very seen within the club so that people know who I am.
I'm the development officer for the girls section at Lincoln United Football Club. My role at the club is to expand the programme. What that means is recruiting players, recruiting coaches. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, a lot of hours, a lot of emails and calls going back and forth.
So what's been your highlight of the season? What's the standout moment so far?
Standout moment for me has to be the understanding and the appreciation in my under-8s team. We've got a player that plays in both our under-8 girls and in our mixed team, and every game we have an argument, but strangely enough, about who's going to be goalkeeper. I've got a million children put their hands up to be a goalkeeper, so Eva's the first to say, don't want to play in the match, but can I do the penalty? The boys will always say, you have to put Eva in. You have to put Eva in. Like, she will show those people how it's done. And then this one particular moment, this player comes over to me and says, we've got to give Eva player of the match. Why have we got to give Eva player of the match? Because, well, she's just the boss. You just think, wow, how do children sort of go, it's not about skill, it's not about how good she is, it's literally, she is boss, she is real strong in character. And I think that for me sums it up. It's been a magic thing to watch.
So Kieran, what are your sort of objectives for the girls section? What are you hoping for?
What we're hoping for from the girls junior section is to filter players all the way through from when they join the club in mini whites or wildcats at 4, 5, 6 years old, for them to then represent our junior teams all the way through the age groups up and to progress on to our women's first team. Some of our current under 13s are prime examples of that, and just 3 or 4 years down the line, so we're talking 12, 13 year olds, 3 or 4 years down the line, we'll see those first players representing the women's first team, and that'll be a very proud day. And I think that's a great unique selling point for our club and for our girls junior section.
How important is football to children's mental health, and what sort of effect did lockdown have on them?
I've got 2 teams that I'm the main manager for. One of the things that certainly the first time round was their mental health, and they were talking to me a lot about that. They were quite open. My son, who plays for my under 13s, he suffers with autism, and so it makes it difficult for him to express his emotions, and he found it really odd and really overwhelming. And that's certainly something that resonated with other members within the team and certainly across the club, that actually sport's got this massive part in their life that they probably didn't realise before.
So going forwards, beyond COVID, what sort of plans have you got coming up?
Going forward, we are trying to mimic an RTC at the grassroots level. An RTC is a regional talent club, offering extra opportunities for our players. For example, additional weekly training sessions. So under 12s and our under 13s currently train twice a week. There is the option going forward to expand that across our age groups. We try to set up friendly games in the gaps in our schedule against higher standards of opposition within the region. We played against Huddersfield Town. We were due to play Mansfield Town before the second lockdown. Again, before the second lockdown, there were talks between our under 9s and under 12s with Leicester City and Sheffield United. And I think that's a sign of the direction our girls section is going in that we want to compete against the best regionally.
Would you say there's a boy or girl divide in the teams that you run? Are there more than others? How's it working out?
I suppose I don't even see it as the girls section and the mixed section. The coaches will tell you, if somebody says a boys team around me, I get quite frustrated because take our under-8 girls. One of our under-8 girls plays for my under-8 mixed team, so there's quite a nice flow, and it's just so interesting to see that there generally is not this oh, that's the girls under-8s, that, you know, that's the under-8s and that's the under-8s. There's no difference. The children amongst the club don't really see it as a boy-girl divide, which is lovely.
What advice would you give to young people who want to take up football?
My advice would be, number one, try as many different sports as possible. Take the time, certainly, you know, if you're not able to go out and see friends and do the normal things that you would do, take some time to have a look on YouTube at loads of different sports and have a go. Football's a long-term ambition for a child, which it is for many children. That those that try lots of different sports get lots of success later on when they do sort of start to focus on one sport in particular.